Guys, today I am going to do just some books that I really want to read before the end of 2025. These are in no particular order and they're not necessarily new releases. Some of these are just books that I've had either on my TBR for a really long time, or maybe I just really been wanting to read them recently and I'm making it a priority to put them on my TBR for one of the following months before 2025 ends. I also had done a video earlier this year about books I want to read in 2025, so I'm actually gonna go back and look at that video after I filmed this just to see the discrepancies. And I know for a fact there's like one or two fantasy series that I put on there that I thought I was gonna read this year that I did not, so I'm definitely gonna do a rewatch of that and see. But whatever I'm not putting in this video doesn't mean I'm not excited to read. It's just this is what was on my mind when I was thinking about this video idea. First, I'm gonna start with a Kristen Hanna book. So I have two here. I have The Nightingale and I have The Great Alone. I actually saw a collage of the aesthetic of this book, sorry, on Pinterest. I'll try to put it up somewhere while I'm editing, but it made me want to just read this book like ASAP. So I really hope I can read this or both of them by the end of 2025. I've heard only good things. I have heard no bad reviews so far from the people I've seen about either of these. So really excited. This one is set in Alaska, and this one is set in like World War II. I know that there's some really sad things obviously in here, but I do think I would enjoy it because I really liked the book All the Light We Cannot See, and so yeah, I really think I could enjoy this. I mean both of them, but that's why they're on my books that I really want to read before 2025 ends. Then I have actually 4 books that are kind of in the same fandom. So I have first Manacled, which I don't have physically, but I've had that on my Kindle for maybe 2 years now, and I really want to read it. And with that, I would like to read also Alchemized, which came out this week when I'm filming this, and this is 1,000 pages, so it's very heavy too. I just really want to read both of these. These are based off, this is based off the fan fiction that was written, which is called Manacled, and then this is not a like fun fantasy. I do understand that it's very dark from what I've heard, and I've heard a lot of mixed reviews so far, so I don't know what I'm expecting. I don't have any like super high hopes or anything like that. I'm just going into it blind basically. And with that, so now you have a bit more like fun books related to the same subject. So there's The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bridget Knightley, and you have Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. These two I want to read so bad. I thought I was going to read these in like August, but I didn't get the chance to. I want to read these so bad. These are also inspired by some fan fictions from like Draco and Hermione and whatnot. So I just want to have like a whole like month of just reading Harry Potter fanfic, I guess. I don't know. But I definitely have these high up on my TBR, and they're both fantasy, you know, so especially this one is like just like a healer, and like it's like kind of like a fantasy romance but with a bit like of a rom-com twist to it from what I was told. So anyways, I can't wait to read both of them. Then I really want to finish the Flesh and Fire series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have these 2 books left. I do also have access to the audiobooks, and also this brick of a book, The Primal of Blood and Bone, which is the latest one in the Blood and Ash series, which I find is like, look, I mean, I already thought the other books were a little too big, but and they've added books to this series as well, so I don't know how I feel about that, but I will be continuing with this one. I do want to get them all wrapped up before the end of 2025, just because like, I just want to be caught up with the series, basically. That's it. And going with series too. Wait, let me just pick them up. I have the Mistborn series. So this trilogy by Brandon Sanderson, which, unless you live under a rock, I'm sure you know all about. I'm just gonna hold up one of them. You basically follow, from what I understand, a band of maybe thieves or just kind of outcasts, and the beginning of the book, well, actually had started, where is it? Anyways, I had started the first book. I read a bit of it, and you're just following them along at the beginning, where basically the villain won the battle, and then they go from there. I have zero spoilers so far. I don't know how I did that, but I still have zero spoilers, so I really want to read this maybe in November or December. I'll see. My goal would be to maybe like binge read this all in a week, all three of them. Maybe like read a little novella or something in between the books, but I would really like to read these all in the week because they're pretty, I mean, they're not short by any means, but they're not like 1,000 pages either. So I'm pretty sure I could just read all of them, you know, in one go. Also, it's a completed series, so I don't have to wait for another book or anything like that. And I just really want to read also more of Brandon Sanderson's books. I also have Yumi and the Nightmare Painter and Trust of the Emerald Sea that I haven't read yet. And don't get me started on the Stormlight Archive. I'm not there yet. I have other fantasy series that I want to read and finish before that one, but that's definitely on my next up. I have Pucking Around and Pucking Wild. These are two hockey romance books that I've also had on my TBR for so long, like I think 3 years now. And I just haven't I haven't read them yet, and they're honestly like, oh, this one is signed. Sorry, I just noticed this one is signed. Anyways, I really want to read them. I do love reading hockey romance books when it's wintertime, so I'm probably gonna read them like in November or December, maybe one each month, we'll see. Also, these are on KU. I'm sure they still are, but they are on KU, so I can read them on my Kindle fairly easily. I think I do also have access to the audiobook for this one, but I don't know if I want to do that because I think there's like time jumps and there's a lot of different characters, so I don't know how that's going to be. Unless it's a cast of characters, I don't see myself enjoying like one narrator for all of this. So anyways, haven't read this yet, and I love hockey romances, so we'll see. Then I have similar to the what's her name, Kristen Hanna situation, I would like to read another one of Olive Blake's books. So either Masters of Death, and if I read this, it would probably be in October, and Gifted and Talented, which is her new release from this year. So I would like to read one of these. I am a huge fan of hers. I think I just read One for My Enemy, but I loved it so much that it just made me want to read everything she writes. So I do have to be like in a proper headspace to read her stuff because her writing is so beautiful. And also like this one, let me just show you, like the Gifted and Talented has illustrations in it as well. And so that one I do want to read physically, not that it's on KU or anything. I don't have it digitally regardless, so I will be reading this physically. And anyways, her books are usually very good, and if anything, the writing is beautiful. So, and I'm not one to notice bad writing, good writing, so if I do, it's a plus for me. The next book that I really would love to read before the end of 2025, and I'm hoping to buddy read this with one of my friends on Bookstagram. It is 11/22/63. Yeah, okay, I thought I mixed up the numbers. 11/22/63 by Stephen King. Basically, it is someone in here that is trying to prevent the JFK assassination, and they do so by going through some kind of portal. That's all I know about it. I just heard so many good reviews, and my husband, who's not a reader, actually even saw someone talk about it and recommended it. So yeah, anyways, it's also not a very small book. I don't know why most of these books are really big, but hopefully I do get through them. And this also I would like to read physically. I might annotate this. I feel like this is the type of book that I would get a better reading experience out of if I annotate it. So also if I'm buddy reading, I'm gonna want to annotate just to keep my thoughts organized, if I can say that. But anyways, really hoping to read this. And there's also, I want to read either Salem's Lot or Misery, maybe in October, just for spooky season. Um, I've been wanting to read one of his more like horror books. This is not one of his horror books. If you don't know, Stephen King has obviously like so many published works. They're not all horror books. So if you're not a fan of horror, then you might want to pick this up. There's also a book called Billy Summers that I really want to read, which is also not horror. It's someone told me it's kind of like the movie The Accountant, kind of like that. You have like the assassin's kind of autistic, and then something happens. Anyways, he's doing like a last job. That book is also like it's pretty high up on my TBR. I'd actually started listening to it this year at some point, but I didn't like the narrator, so I figured I would just read it physically. But anyways, a Stephen King book is on my list, but most importantly, this one. The last book I'm gonna put on here is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This has been on my TBR, I want to say, for like maybe 4 years. I think I got this either during COVID or before. So yeah, it's been a while and I still haven't read it. And I was really hoping to read this in October. So hopefully this happens. I don't think I'm going to annotate it or anything the first time around. I'm just going to go ahead and read it. But I think I mentioned in a previous video that I strongly feel like this could be the type of book that's kind of like a classic and you want to reread it later on. I was told by somebody that this is giving like Saltburn vibes or whatever. So anyways, I feel like I would like this and I really hope I do because I'm hyping it up so much in my head. For some reason, it's so hyped up in my head. I'm like, I have to love this. Like, this has to be amazing. Anyways, this is the last book I'm going to put in this video. Obviously, there's so many books that I want to read really badly. There's a bunch of new releases. There's the new Becca Mack book from the Playing for Keeps series. And anyways, there's also a Witcher book. It's like a prequel to the books that are already out. I think that's coming out like soon. I pre-ordered it. I should check when. I'd like early October maybe. I did in fact pre-order it and it is sitting on my shelves right now. So yeah, I actually got it and it looks amazing. It's basically about Geralt before he was the Geralt we know. So just like think a younger version of him. Anyways, that's gonna come out and actually would like to read that and then reread like the first book of The Witcher, The Last Wish, and then go on from there. Because I had only read the first one a long time ago, so I would definitely want to reread it and start collecting like those nice hardcover editions as corner as I go through it. So I don't know if that's something I'm gonna start this year. Maybe as of like January, I could do my like reading series. Anyways, that's another that's another video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what books you would love to finish before the end of 2025, and is it like do you just want to finish catching up with a series, or do you have any books that have been on your TBR for so long that you're kind of embarrassed when you look at it? Like that for me is kind of this this and A Little Life. For some reason they've been on my shelves for so long and I haven't gotten around to reading it. But anyways, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will definitely try to do maybe like a reading vlog or something, reading more books off my physical TBR, just to continue on with that because I've been doing really good with reading my physical TBR so far.